Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. Again, thank you so much for taking this time out to do this for me. I guess I just wanted to start with your first name and your congregation you're a part of.
From Rama Christian Center.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. And so the first question I want to ask is, why do you want to see changes in the Columbus Police Department?
Well, just like in life, if there's an issue, you would want to fix it. In order to fix an issue, you would begin with the root cause on the common denominator, the foundation. So let's look at the history of the police or how it was formed, and that will tell you everything we need to know. So in the 1700s in the South, policing was known as slave patrol. The European Americans would hunt down escaped slaves and bring terror on the slave communities. So the slave patrols lasted until the Civil War, and then the KKK began infiltrating into, patrolling. So in the 1800s, the European Americans began policing the immigrants um, as they began to settle in Boston and New York. The settlers said this group was a menace to American society. So, and then during this time, the politicians and the police began a strategic effort to try to sweep their crimes under the rug while going against, others, the minority groups. And then in the 1900s, the patrol became like the federal and state forces. And J. Edgar Hoover was a known racist, and he was the first director of the FBI for nearly 50 years. He made his mission to lie, intimidate, persecute civil rights, liberties, and activists. Um, and there is a mentality of dominance in this group and throughout generations. In the 1960s, the African Americans began to challenge how they were being treated by the police, and the police didn't like it. So they continued using that harsh treatment. And throughout history, unfair treatment of minorities have been an issue for generations. Um, and the racist European Americans are the common denominator. Nothing will change um, nothing will change until we shine the light of truth on the common denominator and educate others. And finally, this is a cause of spiritual wickedness, and you fight this in the spirit and with legislation. So, but how can we fight this evil mentality with legislation? So you fight it with prayer and people rising up from the bottom and saying enough is enough. So with all that said, I want to see change because of the corrupt foundation.
Yes, I think it's really important that what you said in the beginning is that you have to start from the beginning. You have to examine the foundation that it's built on. If you're going to build a house, you have to make sure the foundation is stable and strong. I think
Yes,
it's the same way in structuring police or a body that's supposed to protect and serve the
right,
community.
exactly.
I also want to know, have you or someone you know been a victim of police harassment, brutality, or racial profiling?
Yes, my husband, relatives, and friends. One instance, my husband was pulled over and asked where was he going. We believe he was profiled because of the car he was driving. And this European American police officer did not give no tickets, or did she give a reason for pulling him over? So that's racial profiling because he's driving a nice car.
Yeah, I think that in itself is often far too common.
Mm,
Uh, the idea that minorities or people of color can't have nice things in their own right. It has to be something that is either taken or stolen.
right, exactly. Looking suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a spiritual evil. So why would you think that?
Yeah. It's very crazy. And I guess I also wanted to ask too is why is it important that why is it important to you that Bread pushes police reform?
It's important for bread to represent the least among us, and because it's the right thing to do. We do our research, we investigate, we contact different cities who have implemented changes, and we see their results, and we present it to the powers that be. In a nutshell, we do our homework. And there is a hunger and thirst for change, especially after seeing the murder of George Floyd, um, which we've known for years. You know, there's been an issue, but now it's like the veil has been removed, so others will be able to see what's really going on. But how many murders were not seen on camera? So we are the change agents, and we have a pretty good record, and we have proven it time after time.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I can be a part of Bread for this semester and um, really see what this looks like to be the boots on the ground, to be the ones with the people power and help and advocate for that change and that social justice. And I really appreciate you taking this time to have this conversation with me, to share your opinions and your experiences so that people can learn more. So thank you.
Thank you so much.